Reading's pursuit of the Championship's top two continues at home, where the goals have been flowing at almost 3 a game.
Oh, what a finish! And it's turned in. Magnificent! And that was a picture-book header.
Inconsistencies hampered Coventry's progress, but on the road, they are finding their feet at last.
Oh, it's in! And it's nothing more than Coventry have deserved.
And having won at Birmingham live on Sky, Coventry come here looking for a third straight away win. Well, Reading fans have been spoilt so far. They'll have enjoyed the fact the Wolves Birmingham match was drawn on Saturday, so now they can close the gap. Live from the Coca-Cola Championship, it's Reading Coventry at the Medeski Stadium on Sky Sports 1 and in high definition HD1, as ever, channel 408. One force change for Reading tonight. First league start of the season for Michael Dewberry in Reading's defence, with Andre Biquet suspended. And one of 3 changes for Coventry, the return of Jay Tabb, who played under Steve Coppell at Brentford. Very good evening to you. Can't be often that Wolves and Birmingham both support Coventry, but they do tonight. Already, every point in this race for promotion is absolutely precious. Just like our 2 guests tonight, the former Coventry striker Dion Dublin and the current Reading captain Graham Murty. But Graham, the bad news is you're still not playing.
Not yet. I'm getting there though, very slowly.
How hard has been the season so far for you, watching from the sidelines?
Well, it's been horrible. I've been having a beast really. I've torn my calf 3 times, so I've been relegated to watching the team, but it's getting there.
When will you be back?
I've got a reserve game Wednesday, so anything from then on, I'll be pushing on, but if the guys keep on playing the way they are, it's going to be very difficult for me.
Well, only Wolves and Birmingham are outgunning you so far. What is the view in the Reading dressing room, in the Reading camp, about the start that Reading have made?
Good start, reasonable start. We're in a very good position. I don't think, personally, that we've hit full stride yet. There's still more to come from this team. I think we've got goals in us, as you see, especially at home, but I still think we've got another level to get to, and if we can manage that, then it's going to be a very, very interesting season.
Dion, I'm not sure Graham would say this, but if you look at the strength of the Reading squad, the size of the squad as well, would you think that anything but automatic would be failure?
No, I don't think it's a failure at all. I think the players will want automatic without a doubt, and then we're doing everything possible to do that. But the playoff spot, the top playoff spot will be great for them. You mentioned it already, but Wolves Birmingham drawing is just a godsend for them. They can get so close to Birmingham's tails, and tonight, to them, to the players, will be a must-win, without a doubt.
Well, this is how it stands at the moment. Coventry in the bottom half, that's where they'll stay whatever happens tonight. They're 7 points from the relegation zone and 7 points from the playoff places as well. I think that's fair to say they're mid-table. This is how it is at the top then. Championship fans will have been studying the form between Wolves, Birmingham, Reading. It's 13 points to Wolves and it's 7 to Birmingham. At what point, Graham, does that become dangerous, that gap become too big?
Nothing's insurmountable. We've still got a long way to go in this season. There's lots of games to play. We've got Birmingham twice. We've got Wolves that got to come here as well. So there's a long way to go, but I think we want to keep it narrow. We want to keep it tight. We want to keep them feeling as though we're hounding them every step of the way. So a win tonight certainly goes some way to doing that.
Well, is it must-win, Dion, against your old team, Coventry?
It is. I think it is for Reading, yeah, because when a team above you slips up, you've got to try and close the gap. It's a chance to close the gap. And what normally happens is you normally get the same result as the team above you. As Graham will tell you, that's what normally happens. But tonight, as we've seen at Birmingham, Coventry can play some good football. I think they will start very well tonight. Coventry, they'll need to, because I think Reading have scored some early goals.
Yeah, real danger signs in that Birmingham game for sure for Reading tonight. Because Graham's injured, he's had extra time to spend on his testimonial year, of course. And while his teammates were preparing for tonight's game, he got a few along to try and cook up some cash for charity.
If I put it on my own, I'm sure the thing will blow up.
Mertz was here today about 1 o'clock practicing, so he obviously fancies himself a bit.
As long as they agree I'm the best chef in here, it's not a problem.
He thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Don't eat the cheese. That's for later. The season has really only just started, really, and because now we really come into the most important part of the year, December, and hopefully carry it on to the end.
there's a long way to go. So we're a few points behind the top two, but it's easily catchable if we can play as well as we can. Very good chance of getting automatic promotion.
We would like to be obviously in the top two, but Wolves, Birmingham are playing well at the minute, so we just have to stick with what we do and pick up as many points as we can.
All the boys that I've been at the club with, they all want to play in the Premiership. They've all played in the Premiership, and it's massive for us as a club and for the fans and for everyone involved. So it's definitely the main priority for us.
We need to get back up, personally, and for the team it's better as well. But, I'm not getting any younger, and, I want as many chances as I can to play in the Premiership.
We have our heads set on straight. We know what's ahead of us and what the challenge is, and we're doing our best to get there.
We kind of slipped up against Southampton, and they haven't been doing very well, and they just destroyed us. And so we need to kind of remember that game and make sure that we're at it when Coventry come.
It's going to be hard for us. They've got a decent manager as well who's been there. He's been in the Premiership and stuff, and I'm sure he'll be striving the boys to get to where we want to go. And it's a big game for us. It's a home game, and we need to take it to them early doors.
Gordon Ramsay, watch out, eh?
No, definitely
The
not.
only problem was there was no F word.
We weren't allowed. All swear words were saying something an hour in front of them.
It was a contest. Who won?
I did.
No, he's modest as well, Dion, isn't he? And what was the fine dish?
I made a steak, Aberdeen Angus steak, Japanese horseradish mash, bok choy, shiitake mushrooms, and a sauce.
He talks about it better than he talks about football, doesn't he, Dion?
Fantastic.
It's all bluff.
I suppose that if there is a serious point to come out of that, the fact that you're there with so many of your teammates who've been at this club for an awful long time, does that play a big part in the success that you have?
It does. We know each other extremely well. We do a lot of stuff together, and they've supported me really well in this year. But everyone that's not on the pitch today has a vital role to play. The manager really stresses it, that it's a team ethic. The squad has to succeed together. Individuals are important, but the team comes first, and that's the guiding rule that we go by.
I think, Dion, there is 7 in the squad today. Graham, if you add them, makes it 8 that were in the part of the promotion squad from 3 seasons ago.
Yeah, it's a massive part of a successful team, or a team that comes very close to getting up automatically. But they're the boys that run the club, really. The manager does a lot of talking. He'll tell you where he wants you, what time, but it's the boys that are over 30, the seniors, that will look after the young boys. The young boys have to respond to the seniors. Sometimes the young boys have got to help the seniors as well. But now they've got 7 or 8 in their team. It's a great squad to be in.
And this young man making his 300th game in England tonight, 36 years old. What does he bring to your football club?
Lots of guns initially. He brought cowboy boots as well.
Bad music.
I love a Slipknot and other thrash metal. What he does bring, he brings massive personality. He brings security. He brings agility that you wouldn't expect for a big guy. But it's his presence more than anything else, And he's really endeared himself to the fans and the players just by his level of consistency. He's always at a high level, and if any of us fall below his standards, he's not shy of letting us know.
I spent a small time with Marcus. I think it was at Villa a short while, and he could see then, years ago, that he's going to be a good goalkeeper. He talks non-stop. He just runs the back four, so he will tell you where to go, when to go. Fantastic. And as a back four, that's perfect. Having played centre half for a few years of my career, it's ideal to have a goalkeeper that's a good goalkeeper as well, but talks you through games. It's fantastic, and he's been doing it for years now.
Well, let's hear now from the man who brought them all together, the Reading manager Steve Coppell with Greg Whelan.
Steve, you know Chris Coleman well, of course, from your Crystal Palace days. How much management material did you see in him back then?
Well, it was a long time ago, I must admit, and he was a raw left-back in those days who I tried vainly to convert to a centre-forward on occasion, much to his displeasure. I think it's just circumstances. Chances are, if he hadn't have had his crash, and he would have played a full career, and who knows which way his life would have gone. But I think that made him sort of reassess. He was given the opportunity at Fulham, and he really took it. He made them into a very, very difficult outfit to beat. And since then, he's had the experience of being in Spain and come back now to Coventry, wanting to galvanise them. So I think the circumstances have made his managerial career, but he's certainly grabbed hold of it.
In what ways do you expect then his Coventry team to pose a threat to you tonight?
I don't know, to be honest. I think at this stage we're trying to concentrate a little bit more on ourselves. We, had a game last week against Cardiff. We're down to 10 men for most of the game, and so I think tonight's just a night where we want to try and play our game and hopefully let them adjust to us. But as all the matches in this division, they're very, very close. A piece of individual brilliance or mistake or refereeing decision can decide the 3 points.
Steve, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Well, Graham, there must be a reason why you all stay here. Is he a good man to play for?
I think so. I think he's an honest guy. He's got bags of integrity. And I think he would have left if he thought his job was finished here. He stayed here. He thinks he's got a job to do taking us back up, and that gives you massive confidence when someone with his past, his future as well in the game, wants to stay and take you back into the Premiership. You've got to listen to him.
Just looking at the way that Reading have gone, Dion, this year, if they have struggled, it's maybe been against the weaker teams. 4 wins out of 8 against teams in the bottom half, where Wolves and Birmingham have really beaten those sides and beaten them comfortably.
Yeah. That's where the points gaps come from. Reading, as Graham will tell you, let themselves down. They come up against the teams that are at the lower end of the table. Birmingham and Wolves have just taken them out of the water. Scored lots of goals against them. What Reading have to do now is catch up tonight if they really want to challenge. I think it's a big gap, but it can be made gettable if they get the result tonight. But I think Coventry are going to come out tonight and play a lot of balls into these corners and turn Reading very early.
How important is a good start for Reading? I've noticed as well, particularly here, that Reading have scored in the first 20 minutes in 7 of the 9 games. The other 2 that they haven't scored in the first 20 minutes, you've drawn 1 and lost 1.
It's vital for us. We start well at home. The fans expect a good start. They expect high tempo. They expect crosses. They expect shots. They've come to expect goals. I think in the 2 games you talked about, where we've fallen down is after that initial 20 minutes. Can we sustain? Can we just keep going? And the level of expectation that we have around the stadium is we're going to win the game, we're going to get to the Premier League. That's the expectation the fans have of us. But we have to deal with that. We have to find a way of dealing with that. And the way we've done it initially is to win games and win them well.
Does that suggest, Dion, though, that there's a plan A, but maybe not a plan B?
I think
you can have that.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly think, though, that what Graham said, if you're getting pressure from the fans, good pressure from the fans, where they all want you to do well, it's fantastic, because it does bring the men to the fore. Best players in squads like this in Coventry play better under pressure. I used to love pressure. I used to love the fans saying, Dion, we need it today. And as you're walking into the ground, it's fantastic. There's an expectation at the club, and there's a massive expectation here to get as close as they can to automatic promotion.
Well, another man who thrives on pressure, perhaps, is Clinton Morrison, and perhaps Coventry's hopes rest on him. He's scored 4 of their last 5 goals, and his ambitions for this season maybe even exceed those of Coventry's fans.
I know that Gaffer and everyone says we don't want to be looking that high up this season, we want to finish in the top half, but if we're in the top half come Christmas, then I think we can kick on and got a great chance, because anyone can get into that top 6.
Monday night, live.
Well, Clinton Morrison has faced Reading just once in a career spanning 433 appearances. He remembers it, though. He remembers every single goal he scores. This one in a defeat here at the Medeski, but he's banging form now, and not surprisingly, as confident as ever.
I remember that game. I think it was a 3-2 game, but yeah, it was a great atmosphere, good day. It's always good to go and play against Reading, because my old manager's there, Steve Coppell, who gave me my debut when I was at Crystal Palace, and I got a lot of respect for him. So yeah, it'll always be good to go back and play there. Well, he's quiet, to be fair. He was never one to rant and rave, and I know he doesn't look like a laughing guy. He looks serious, but he does have a laugh now and again. We had some good times at Crystal Palace. The manager sold the club to me. He's a very good manager, ambitious. He's still young, done ever so well at Fulham, and the way he wants to play football is the right way. He wants to play a passing football and young and attacking football, and it's good. I enjoy it, and he's a joy to work with since I've been here. He said he wanted to play a passing game, and then he told me some of the signings that would be coming in and how they plan to kick on. So I think it's a club ready to take off, but it's just the players now. We have to get it going on the pitch. I still feel young and fit as I did probably 7-8 years ago, and you get wiser and you become a better player, and you know what sort of runs to make, when to make the runs. So I think there's still a lot left in my body. They're up there with Wolves and Birmingham. Play good football, got great individual players, and I think it'll be a very difficult game. But we've done well against the big teams, and especially on Sky, we did well against Birmingham, and we've done well against Wolves. So hopefully we can do well against Reading. We can do it. We need to do it for them. They ain't had a lot to shout about in the last few years. It's been difficult. They nearly went into administration, but Chairman done ever so well to get them out of it. And now it's a building thing, and we can kick on. Obviously, I know the Gaffer and everyone says we don't want to be looking that high up this season, we want to finish in the top half. But if we're in the top half come Christmas, then I think we can kick on and got a great chance, because anyone can get into that top 6.
Clinton Morrison confident, Dion, surprisingly,
confident. He said it like with one breath. But he's always been confident.
He's a character, though, isn't he?
He's a great character to have around. And he will always score goals. You know, he might have droughts, but he'll always score goals. And a confident striker is definitely what you need in your team.
He scored all kinds of goals, and he seems to be the one that's scoring all Coventry's goals at the moment, 4 of their last 5.
Yes, seen a few of these before, but you know, he gets the tap-ins. You know, he puts his body on the line to put the ball in the back of the net. He's just scored a great curler. He'll pass that one in the back of the net as well. He's got a lot in his, as we call it, in his locker. That's the one that we've seen. But all kinds of goals. You know, he puts himself into a position where he's hoping the ball's going to come, and he'll put it in the back of the net.
Kind of play you always have to be aware about when you're playing against him, Graham.
Yeah, you showed that goal there. That was me getting turned for the goal he scored. So thanks very much for that. I remember that one. Yeah, I did. Yeah, thanks a bunch. But he's clever. He's wily. He uses his body extremely well. But he gets into really good positions. And as he said, as he's gotten older, I think he's matured into a better player.
Does he need support then from the rest of Coventry's players to start weighing in as well?
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know. Some forwards like that. Some forwards like the pressure of having to score all the goals, or majority of the goals. But yeah, it would take a bit of weight off his shoulders, and I'm sure the other players want to get some goals as well. But having seen Clinton there, he's ready for tonight, and he thinks he's going to get a few more goals.
Well, he used to play under Steve Coppell. Now he plays under Chris Coleman, a man who himself was bought and sold by Steve Coppell. Let's hear from him now with Greg Whelan.
Chris, you come face to face tonight with your old Palace manager, Steve Coppell. Looking back, what do you feel you might have learned from him?
Oh, he's someone that I respect immensely, of course. He took me from Swansea City when I was 21, when Crystal Palace were in it was the first division then, but obviously now it's the Premier League. And basically, well, first and foremost, he improved me as a player. He was a great manager. He done great things for Crystal Palace, and he did great things for me as a player. So he's somebody that I respect immensely.
You've only had the one encounter with him as a manager. It was a 1-0 defeat when you were at Fulham. Do you owe him one?
I think it's we'll just be looking at it as we've got to get some points. We're looking at it as it's a tough game. They're a very good team, Reading. We know we're going to be up against it. We're missing certain players in key positions, but no, we know we're on our day. We're a good team. We know that. Our problem this season has been consistency. But last couple of games we've done quite well. We've got a win and a draw. So we'll go into tonight's game knowing that these are a very good team at this level. But we think we can get some points.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
We mentioned already there 7 points off the bottom 3, 7 points as well from the playoff places. Could their season really, Dion, go either way?
Yes, it could, and that's been the story of Coventry's life. You know, when I was there as well, we had 2 relegation fights, stayed up, done very well. The next season we started well and faded away. So inconsistent as a club, as a team, and that's why they've been sort of in that middle of the table all the time. If they can go on a run, they're in the playoff positions. It's the same as Reading. If they get a couple of wins and Birmingham and Wolves don't do so well, they're in 40 points. So it's all to play for. Even for the teams that are just off the bottom, there's only 4 points to the top of the second half of the table. And I think it's fantastic for the league.
It's hard to be honest, I guess, Graham, without being too disrespectful of your opposition. But when you see Coventry, you see a team that has been up and down. Do you expect to beat them now?
I don't expect anything. We expect to play to our potential. We know it's going to be about what we do. If we worry about Coventry, it's going to take away from what we're trying to do. We're trying to maintain a level of performance. And if we maintain that level of performance, the manager is certain that the results will come. But that's all we can do. You know, we can't be worried about them too much because, as Dion said, they're up and down. We could get them on one of their better days and we'll have it all on just to get something out of the game. So we just worry about ourselves.
How did Coventry make it difficult for Birmingham that night, Dion, when we saw them a couple of weeks ago, that they could do again tonight?
Yeah, they could quite easily. I think I thought the back four was superb first and foremost, resilient, and they just pass, and that's the way we know that Chris Coleman wants to play the game. He mentioned it there in his interview. You know, Clinton mentioned in his interview saying it's the right way to play the game. And that night, every single player that was on that pitch for Coventry played their part in that result, and they need to do that in order to get to that position of the playoffs.
Is that the warning sign for you, though, Graham? Because, well, you've told us that Southampton were particularly good when they came here, and they played that passing game.
I think so, but I also think that they raised their level of performance coming in here. It's not an arrogant thing to say, but I think people look at us to be shot at, the position we're in the league.
Particularly here?
Yes, because we have a good record here. People want to put down a marker here. They know if they perform well here, it can set them up for a good run, but we have to maintain what we do. We have to accept the pressure, revel in the pressure, as Dion said, and go on and hopefully win the game. I'm saying it's going to be easy, but nothing ever is.
That's fantastic. It's a great compliment to be paid. You know, as a Reading player, Graham would tell you, for people to come here and, you know, to want to beat you so badly, you must be doing so well in this league. You know, it's a great respect thing for Reading. Teams are coming here, listen, we've got to beat Reading, they're doing so well, blah, blah. Because the teams that are playing against Reading want to be where Reading are.
Your match commentators then tonight, Don Goodman and Bill Leslie.
Well, he had named the same side for the last 6 matches, but Steve Coppell forced into a change tonight. Michael Dubry starts his first league game of the season. Andre Biquet starts his ban for that red card against Cardiff. Elsewhere, as you were, Marcus Hanneman, the ever-present American, plays his 300th match in English football. At the other end, the Championship's top scorer, Kevin Doyle, looks to add to his prodigious tally so far, 15 in his last 16 games. Coventry's right-back position seems to be carrying a bit of a curse. They lost both Stephen Wright and Isaac Osborne through injury last time out. So Chris Coleman brings the club's longest-serving player, Marcus Hall, in from the fringes to start his first game since August in a slightly changed formation. Elsewhere, Jay Tabb, over the virus, had seen him miss the last couple of matches. He returns to the starting lineup, as does Aaron Gunnarsson, the teenage Icelandic midfielder, who'll play a wing-back role tonight. Watch out for his long throws. Continuity on the bench for Reading. It's the same substitutes for them as last time out, and dropping down to the Coventry bench from the side last time out, Michael Mifsud and Robbie Simpson. Well, it's not often, due to the form of Birmingham City and Wolves, that Reading have been able to have an opportunity to close the gap. That's just what they've got here tonight, though. If they can see off Coventry, who've saved their best for their travels in recent weeks. It will not be routine for the Royals, you feel. We're back with the whole match live next.
Monday night live.
Live from the Coca-Cola Championship, Reading continue their pursuit of Wolves and Birmingham against Coventry City from the Medeski Stadium on Sky Sports 1 and in high definition on HD1 channel 408. Your commentators, Don Goodman and Bill Leslie.
Well, Reading might be trailing the leading pack at the top of the Coca-Cola Championship, but no one can match the goal scoring at this level of that young man, Kevin Doyle, the Republic of Ireland international striker. 15 league goals he's got for Reading as he does his bit to fire the Royals back to the Premier League at the first time of asking. Much of the goal-scoring responsibility for the Sky Blues, who are all in black tonight, falling on the shoulders of Clinton Morrison. He's responded recently. Can someone else chip in and help out? He scored 4 at Coventry City's last 5 goals. Well, after the last outing, the Reading manager, Steve Coppell, had something to say about Premier League referees dropping down to take charge of Championship matches. Well, it's the boot on the other foot tonight, if you like. Kevin Wright coming up from League One to look after this fixture. And Reading, so noted for their strong starts at home, to have some frustrations they're looking to get out of their system. Plenty of positives they could take from their draw last time out against Cardiff last week, but their performance here at home last time out, their first home defeat of the season. What sort of response are we going to get from them? Looks lively early on, certainly, as it's hoisted into the box. KB forward.
Well, straight away you'll notice Reading, as soon as that ball goes out for a throw-in, we saw them do this last time here on Sky Sports, they get it straight back in. I'll tell you what, it is a way of keeping the play at high tempo, and high tempo is what Steve Coppell likes from his team.
As you can see, where Reading come, goals tend to follow. They manage more than double the goal tally of Coventry this season, 41 from 19 games. Still, though, second to Wolves, despite having played a game less. City trying this different formation. How much due to the injuries to all the right backs that we talked about when we were showing you the teams a moment ago, how much of it's forced by that and how much do you think he would have done it anyway, Don?
Well, it's a difficult one to answer, isn't it? Only Chris Coleman knows the answer to that. But one thing by having Gunnarsson in this team is, you've mentioned it, he's got that almighty throw, and here it comes.
Great distance on that, and unconvincingly dealt with by Reading, but the important thing is it's effectively dealt with. Hoisted by Ward, Ingemarson underneath it for Reading. The recognisable figure of Stephen Hunt. Tab touches on, it's a boost for Coventry to have him back in the side after missing 2 games with the flu virus. Got 3 players in the middle, Coventry, if they can find a way to work the ball to them. Just a goal kick, they were hoping for a corner.
Michael Doyle, never ever far away from confrontation. I think Liam Rosinia exchanging a few words, still at it. It was a positive response from Coventry, wasn't it? You know, I think the first 20 minutes here for Coventry City is massive. You know, Reading very, very capable of winning matches in that first 20 minutes, let alone taking the lead. I think Coventry City, whilst being disciplined, they've got to really keep things really tight.
Harper. Set up play. Harper's found a little bit of space on the edge of the Coventry City box. Hoisted well over by Liam Rosinia.
We can afford to smile about it. Not the greatest goal-scoring record in the world, Liam Rosinia. Like his father, quite prolific. He's getting forward well, I was going to say. He still gets forward well.
And there's another one I was going to say as well, with the connection with Chris Coleman, of course. He was brought to Fulham by Chris Coleman when he was in charge from Bristol City. 7 wins from their 9 games here. Reading a pretty tidy tally. Coventry will be boosted certainly by their away form recently. Both their 2 wins have come on the road. One at Sheffield Wednesday and one we saw live on Sky. That one where they had to work hard, everything had to go right, but they did it. They won at Birmingham. Nothing to suggest they won't be able to do the same here if they can get it right. And that has been their problem this season, consistency.
Well, it has. They're one of those teams, Coventry City, one of the few teams we're not really sure where they sit in this championship. Are they going to be battling relegation? Are they going to be pushing for a playoff place? Undecided as yet. Tonight could go a long way to making my mind up.
Well, Coventry have their first corner. Danny Fox will take it. Clinton Morrison lurking, so too Freddie Eastwood. How he would dearly love to end his barren spell in front of goal. 11 games without a goal for him. They go deep, Morrison back across the face of goal, and Dubry on hand to stab away.
It's a couple of set pieces that Reading haven't defended very conclusively. A long throw, the initial long throw from Gunnarsson, then this corner there. Now they've got another one to defend.
Plenty of distance again. Jimmy Kebe, the Malian wide man, able to bring it clear here for Reading. Doyle, the only Reading player inside the opposition half. He's got plenty for company. He's done exceptionally well as well to keep hold of it.
Under a lot of pressure, wasn't he? As soon as he got that ball, Kevin Doyle, Coventry City snapping at him. 2-3 players. That's what he can expect more of the same of Carney with that goals record.
Ingemarson rather committing himself. Eastwood. Here's Scott Dan. Finding early towards Eastwood, and the towering figure of Hanneman tidies things up for Reading.
It's interesting. Coventry are happy for Scott Down to step in there to the midfield and play the ball, but in doing that, it does leave them 2v2 at the back against Kevin Doyle and Noel Hunt.
There's space in behind it for Doyle if he can make the most of it. Noel Hunt, the forward runner.
He shows good pace here, doesn't he? Look at his movement, spins in behind. Just for a second you think he's all the way in behind, but he never really gets the ball under full control, and that's the thing that lets him down in the end.
Last time they were promoted from this division, one of the notable factors about it was the fact that more often than not it was the same side week in, week out, barring the odd knock, the odd suspension. And that sort of pattern starting to emerge here, of course, now without Andre Biquet at the back. Dubry brought in to cover from him, but 6 games in a row, before today it was, with the same starting lineup. Clearly part of the Steve Coppell blueprint for championship success.
He's clearly not into rotation policies. Having that consistency of player, I think it really does help you as a team.
Gunnarsson forward, early ball in, J-Tab comes forward and decides to take it on.
Well, we know he's got a decent shot in him, J-Tab, decent left foot. He'll be pleased with the amount of space he was able to find there. Very disappointed with the effort.
2 of those 3 goals we saw again in front of the Sky cameras when Coventry showed what they are capable of when they get it right, dispatching Southampton 4-1 at the Rico. Hunt, Kebe, support from Rosinia. Doyle, so full of confidence at the moment, and understandably so. Hunt holds his position wide. And it's good build-up from Reading. Arriving late was Harper, just a little too late though. Coventry can just try and settle themselves, ready for the next Reading attack.
Fox is a little bit late in the challenge there. Jimmy Kebe lays it off, and his left foot right down the back of his calf. A little bit fortunate, the Coventry fullback. Even got a talking to for that.
Well, he was booked in the last match against Swansea. That was his 5th of the season, so he does face a ban. Here's Harper trying to catch Coventry unawares. Hunt in strongly, and the free kick goes Coventry's way.
When he gets the ball, it's the follow-through. There's no doubt about it. Very aggressive player, Stephen Hunt, gets the ball, but it's that follow-through is very dangerous. I think some referees might have even shown him a card for that, I have to say.
Kevin Wright, 2 incidents where perhaps on another day he might have shown a yellow card, but keeps them in his pocket. Kieran Westwood, whose performance in that win at St Andrews we were talking about a moment ago was so vital, man of the match. Sense if they're going to get something here, equal contribution might be needed. There's Marcus Hall. Coventry's Doyle. Giant clearance by Hanneman. Elliot Ward playing the central of the 3 centre-backs employed by Chris Coleman and Coventry tonight.
Taking no chances.
Rosinia. Doyle. It's excellent build-up play. Ward, though, his good position to clear it away.
Well, that's your right back all the way up there on the right wing, taking on players, getting crosses in, and that's what Reading are all about. They do commit bodies forward, they like to get crosses in.
Kebe. All the hard work as they made their way forward comes to nothing with a little bit of a loose touch from the man wearing number 14 for Reading. joy at getting his first goal in English football, Jimmy Cabe, because it came here in the last home game against Southampton, somewhat diluted by the result here and the performance. Pretty much everyone associated with Reading agreeing that Southampton were good value for the 3 points. Pretty much everyone associated with Reading agreeing they've got something to put right here. Hunt, what a good ball in that is! And could so easily have been 1-0, and his brother found the target.
Oh, what a ball that is, from brother to brother. When he gets this, Stephen, he looks up and he sees his brother Noel in the box. It's a brilliant ball in. Little Noel Hunt just can't quite get enough height on his jump to direct that ball back and onto target, but fantastic cross by Stephen Hunt.
A family affair which so nearly proved to provide the breakthrough for Reading. We know they'll have moments like that, and plenty of them tonight, Coventry. They'll have to withstand. They'll be looking for a few more moments like this. Clinton Morrison, Jay Tabb. Floated in by Scott Down. Morrison closed down by Ingemarson. Appeal for handball. Plenty of the Coventry players waved away by the referee. Morrison again. Here's Gunnarsson. Bouzela.
Well, he's still gesticulating to the referee. He wants handball. He loses his marker, and as this bounces up, well, there's no handball there. Ingemarson gets a little bit of a chest on it and hooks it clear. Appeal, wasn't there, from the Coventry fans behind that goal, and Clinton Morrison and one or two others. It's good refereeing.
GB. Well, 18 years ago today, that man came to his first Reading match. It was 2 days after he'd saved them from financial oblivion. The odd 100 million here and there. A couple of years in the Premier League, it's been a good ride, hasn't it? Not over yet. Khalifa Cisse. Harper. Taken by Bouzela. Here's Freddie Eastwood. Movement from Tabb. Goes down by Cisse, unfairly though.
Just one or two Reading passes just going astray a little bit, aren't they, in the middle of that pitch? Normally keep the ball a little bit better, crisper passing. Coventry closing them down well.
Gunnarsson will take it. Scott Dan has come forward. Morrison and Eastwood both lurking. It's angled up towards Scott Dan.
Some big targets, haven't they, Coventry City, to hit when they're in those areas.
Freddie Eastwood. Bouzela. First time onto Eastwood. Aaron Gunnarsson. Has turned himself inside out there as well as Stephen Hunt.
That's where Coventry want to see Stephen Hunt, isn't it? In the left-back position, 1v1 with their wing-back. Not where Reading want to see him, of course.
Under-21 setup in recent months. Along with Danny Fox, the two signings from Walsall. Flag goes up. Another Coventry City free kick.
The assistant referee gives that decision. Just about 10 yards or so away. Clinton Morrison looks in the mood, doesn't he?
Ball was moving, so it'll be retaken. Well, if the first 20 minutes are the important time to survive here, they're doing pretty well so far, protecting their clean sheet. Just that Noel Hunt effort, which had really worried at the back Coventry. Focus their attentions at the other end again. Dan clips forward this time. Dubry made the most of his physical presence. Jimmy Keevy. Icy rain just starting to fall over the Medeski now. Bitterly cold night. Through that you can see the former Crystal Palace manager Alan Smith alongside the England under-21 coach. Legally controlled by Doyle. Gunnarsson keeps it in, gives Morrison at least something to chase. Noel Hunt. Cisse fires it straight at J-Tag.
Cisse's the main culprit at the moment, giving the ball away for fun. That's the last 3 or 4 occasions Khalifa Cisse has given the ball away. It's leading to 1 or 2 Coventry free kicks.
And also prevents Reading from building up any of their trademark head of steam early on. Places in the championship table, the gap between these two, just the 10 points that complexion can look a lot rosier for Coventry if they can become the second team to win here in the space of as many home games. Close the gap on the playoff places to just 4 points.
It's double whammy, isn't it, for Coventry if they can get the 3 points here. Big 10-point cushion from relegation.
This is KB, this is a good run as well. Cut back just behind Doyle. Dan able to make the vital interception. Now Bouzoulan. Compose Coventry as they play their way out of defence. Gunnarsson. Fox. Michael Doyle. Doyle on again. Eastwood. Get the whip on the ball, and nothing really came off for him. Nothing really is going for him, quite as he would like Freddie Eastwood this year.
Well, he didn't have many options, to be fair to Freddie Eastwood. Clinton Morrison was in the box. He was joined by little J-Tab, but it was Gunnarsson, the right wing back, had stayed well out, and I think he was actually trying to switch the ball there to him. He just pulled it a lot.
Touch there by Eastwood.
Well, there we go, 20 minutes. The crowd is quiet. There hasn't been a massive surge towards the Coventry goal that a lot of people may have expected.
Stephen Hunt uniting Chris Armstrong forward.
Highlights it, doesn't it? A Reading team that averaged nearly 3 goals a game, only 2 attempts, and as yet haven't worked Westwood in the Coventry City goal. It'll be a disappointment to Steve Coppell.
They looked to have really found that winning formula, didn't they, when they had those good wins on the bounce, Bristol City Derby and Sheffield United, but in those 2 games, a lot of positives over the way they came back with 10 men. Andre Biquet was sent off against Cardiff last time out. There was more points dropped on an evening when the teams above them picked up the maximum.
It's that dangerous place they're in at the moment, isn't it? Clearly they're aspiring for the top two. I think the playoffs would be a little bit disappointing from a Reading perspective. Wolverhampton Wanderers and Birmingham City setting a hot pace. I do say you need to average 2 points a game to guarantee automatic promotion.
Well, he's there, crutches in hand, Mick McCarthy, the Wolves manager, to cast an eye over what may be the rivals come the running. Almost certainly be the rivals, but which way it will play out will be fascinating to see over the coming months. December, always an absolutely vital month, isn't it? I knew as soon as he'd hit it that was going to drift too close to Kieran Westwood, who's had a quiet start to the match, perhaps a lot quieter than he might have expected.
I think almost certainly a lot quieter than he would have expected. They look fairly assured to me. Coventry City, they're happy to keep the ball, pass the ball from the back into the middle, then up to the front.
Bouzoulat, summer acquisition from the Scottish Premier League, and Hibernian. Stephen Hunt. Typically busy work from him before he's fouled by Gunnarsson. Claims he got the ball, but decision has gone Reading's way already. Good lead from Dan. Now Chris Armstrong. Doyle spinning in behind. Noel Hunt takes up a position in the middle, but it's not going to be allowed to get that. More solid work by Scott Dan for Coventry, but Reading have their first corner now.
It's better movement that gets them, isn't it?
Armstrong to his opposite full-back Rossigna. Coventry have pulled everyone back to try and take care of this Reading attack. Good pace from Liam Rossigna. Not a bad-looking cross either, and Westwood did exactly what was required.
Got to get off under pressure. Lots of Reading bodies. Look at this for pace. Gives Coventry City player a good 7 or 8 yard start. It's a decent ball in. And Westwood in command.
Bouzoulat. Scott Dan happy to use the space that's opening up in front of him, tried to pick it through the eye of the needle all the way up to Clinton Morrison. Bouzoulat, and suddenly came off the hand of Cisse, right under the nose of the referee.
Well, Chris Coleman must be really pleased with the start that his boys have made here. As I say, it's a new formation. Might have been playing it for a while.
Clinton Morrison fouled on the edge of the box by Michael Dubry.
I don't really know what Michael Dubry's complaining about here. As this ball's chipped in, Morrison gets his body in, Dubry comes right through the back of him. Gives the referee absolutely no chance. It's good striking play. He's nudged him in the back. Can't see any complaints there.
Back in the side, his first league start of the season. How costly will that decision prove to be? Keep an eye on Danny Fox. Scored a cracking free kick last time out to level things up against Swansea.
Pretty sure Reading would have seen that as well. Would have had Coventry City watched, so they'll know what he's capable of.
Fox will take it, and Fox will score another beauty. He just can't stop at the moment, Danny Fox, and Coventry lead at the Medeski.
Well, I tell you what, that is an absolute carbon copy of his late equalising goal against Swansea City. I said that Reading would have had him watched, and Marcus Hanneman may have expected this. He's a long way over, but that is unstoppable. Marcus Hanneman is absolutely nowhere near that ball. It's as good a free kick as you are likely to see. And Coventry, for all the discipline, they've got their lead, and look what it means.
Well, he serves a one-match ban next time out. If that is his last contribution, what a mighty one it is. A cracking goal from Danny Fox.
I just wonder if Marcus Hanneman was expecting him, having seen him, to try the old bluff and put it in the other corner. Certainly didn't, but Hanneman was quite a way over. It was the other side.
Stephen Hunt seized on some indecision. Just ran away from him though.
You're going to see what Reading are made of here, because really they haven't been close to breaching Coventry City. Now they find themselves a goal down at home ground that was almost guaranteeing 3 points previously.
Clinton Morrison, and a goal that won't just be cheered in the city of Coventry, but might have gone down pretty well in Birmingham and Wolverhampton as well.
Listen to the crowd. The crowd are at Reading already. Incredible.
A little over by Freddie Eastwood, didn't work out that time. Butelant couldn't control. Doyle can pounce for Reading. Now it's over to the defensive examination, if you like, for Coventry. Can they get a clean sheet? The last two times they have, they've won matches by 1-0, including that one at St Andrews. Rosignol. Got down again.
Some decent balls in there, isn't he? The right back, William Rosignol.
Armstrong. Hunt. Doyle. Late, and the free kick surrendered.
It's a silly tackle for me. Conceding a free kick. Kevin Doyle back to goal, 30 yards out, going absolutely nowhere, just looking to lay the ball off. Your captain goes and gives away a silly free kick. Going to be praying that nothing happens from this.
There was a needless one rather, that proved to be a costly one at the other end by Michael Dubry. See what Reading can find here. Up goes the arm from Stephen Hunt, in it comes. Clinton Morrison away. Keeby now for Reading. Rosignol. Doyle. This is Ingemarson, the centre-half, right into the mix. And Westwood takes responsibility. And if he did go out of his box there, might have been with a little bit of assistance.
It's really good defending by Coventry. I tell you, there's a couple of decent balls coming in that box now. Coventry City's defenders standing up to them. With a little bit of help from the goalkeeper.
Finds Doyle. Out comes Ward, doesn't want to give Reading's main man in the attack any time at all on the ball. Clinton Morrison, first time for Tam, got there just ahead of Harper, and Harper gives away another free kick. Might go into the book for this one as well.
I think James Harper's conceded that he's made contact and it is a free kick. I think for a second he thought he was going to get booked. Kevin Wright doing the right thing for me. It's a little bit late, just a fraction, but I don't want to see yellow cards dished out for that.
Common sense prevailing then. Well, Danny Fox spots this one out. Jay Tabb as well standing over it. Surely he can't conjure something from here. More likely he'll use the supporting cast. Elliot Ward, Scott Dan. Hit in really well, but Hanneman had come out.
The flag went up anyway from the assistant. He was going to give offside, but no need.
Keeby now. Doyle. Rosinia. Plenty of white shirts in the box. Noel Hunt deflected and in. Well, a little slice of luck for Reading and an equalising goal for Reading. Noel Hunt will claim that one, but the scoreline 1-1, no doubt about that.
I'm not sure about the celebrations, but he won't care, Noel Hunt. Westwood left helpless, to be honest with you. And this is when you do need a slice of fortune. Reading get it. Not sure they've deserved it. It's a decent ball in. He finds himself free. And ironically, it comes off Danny Fox. As Rosinia plays this in, little deflection, just clips the back and loops up. Westwood has already dived. As you're going to see here, he's on the floor and he's got absolutely no chance. And if you're Coventry, you're going to feel a bit hard done by. But if you're Reading, you really don't care.
They'll probably admit, Reading, they haven't been at their best. They're all-powerful, attacking best in this match so far. And when that's not happening for you and things aren't quite going your way, as they haven't been in the last couple of matches for them, just the sort of break you need.
Well, is that going to be the turning point for Reading? Goals change games, don't they?
A couple of old campaigners looking on Liam Brady and Marco Tardelli. Became the first brothers, the Hunt brothers, to play for the Republic of Ireland in the last match, the friendly against Poland, since the O'Leary brothers back in the early 1980s. Wouldn't have done anything to harm his chances of a second cap. Noel Hunt getting in the right place at the right time to make his own luck. Up towards Clinton Morrison. I'll be wondering what the Reading response would be. Now it's back in the Coventry court.
Well, if you're Coventry, you don't want to change anything, really. They haven't done anything wrong up to that point. Huge slice of luck for Reading to get that equaliser, but if you're Reading, is that the thing that's going to pick you up? Certainly given the crowd a lift. The crowd had gone flat.
Just under 6 minutes they led for by that wonderful free kick from Danny Fox. Some loose clearance by Westwood. Cisse, in comes Stephen Hunt. He can get another one, but he's put it wide.
Oh, what an opportunity. He has been in the goals. Stephen Hunt, goal-scoring midfielder. I'll tell you what, it's a poor clearance, and Westwood will be breathing a sigh of relief as this ball gets flicked through to Stephen Hunt. You really fancy him, but never quite gets the ball fully under control. Just gets a little close to it. He's trying to slot it into the corner. Misses the target. A little shake of the head. He knows his team should be in front.
He scored a fair few goals this season, but by his own high standards, without 1 in 8, maybe if he'd been in that little run he had just before that, I think there's something like 4 in the 5 games before that, he would have put Reading in front for the first time this evening. Slightly hesitant by Armstrong. Here's Eastwood. Elliot Ward, one of the ever-presents in the league for Coventry this season. Doyle, who's having a good run in the side. Mal Hall, who's hardly seen any football for Coventry this year. Very much on the fringes, just like Dubry, who glances out this way towards Armstrong. Rosinia. Great run from Jimmy Kibe here. Could open things up again. The comeback for Cisse, and a really well-worked goal from Reading. And they lead. They've turned it around here at the Medeski.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the first goal owed a huge amount to luck, nothing lucky about this. Look at Liam Rosinia, spots the run of Jimmy Kibe, and he does ever so well. He takes a touch and he pulls it back into an area where he expects midfielders to be arriving. And Khalifa Cisse doesn't disappoint him. He arrives right on cue. He pulls it back to the penalty spot, and this is a calm finish into the corner. Westwood no chance.
He's got the chairman on his feet. He has got Khalifa Cisse, his first goal here at the Medeski.
He'll be thrilled, I'll tell you what. He wasn't having the best of games in terms of when he was in possession of the football. He's given the ball away an awful lot tonight. It's all been forgotten.
Clinton Morrison. 4 minutes, 40 seconds between the two Reading goals. A double whammy, and Steve Coppell, well, you wouldn't know that his side had turned it around looking at his expression, would you? But I'm sure he's happy somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think he's containing himself. You've got to remember as well that Stephen Hunt had a great opportunity, even quicker than that, and that's what Reading can do to you. In the blink of an eye, they can be down, they can be level, or they can be 2 or 3 goals up. That's what they're capable of. Haven't played particularly well. They certainly haven't played to their full potential yet.
Clinton Morrison. Gunnarsson. Little touch by Tab. Armstrong, it's come for Morrison. Didn't quite catch it as he might have hoped.
Well, I'm not sure that Clinton Morrison realises just how much time he's got here as this ball breaks to him. Fortunately, there isn't a Reading defender near him. Maybe set himself. You can see all of a sudden now Reading just starting to get 1 or 2 more attempts on goal. The 2 ones that have hit the target for Reading have resulted in their goals.
As you said, one with the deflection which came off Danny Fox, but the second one, the reward for what was their best move of the match.
The one thing Coventry cannot afford to do between now and half-time is concede another one. You really don't feel that they'll be able to overcome a 2-goal deficit.
Floats it in. Paul doing his best to just get it out of there. Cisse in the mood will have another swing of that leg. Now Freddie Eastwood. Looking for options. Best one might have been on this right side, Jay Tab. Reading have got men back now.
Gunnarsson just throws his arms up there. You're right, he had made a lot of space on this right-hand side. He wasn't spotted by Freddie Eastwood.
Harper. Lovely ball to spread play here to Rosinia. Kibe. Cisse. Rosinia. And this is more like what you see more often from Reading. Noel Hunt.
I couldn't quite keep it in. Just trickled over that dead ball line.
Plenty of live action for you this week. It's the Carling Cup, the quarter-finals. Burnley against Arsenal, Tuesday 7:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And Wednesday, Watford with their new manager Brendan Rodgers against Tottenham with their new-ish manager Harry Redknapp. That's Wednesday, 7 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Bouzelan. Tab. Coventry captain, Scott Dan. Gunnarsson, Doyle, Hunt. Well, there's just been a storm brewing between those two. Both full-blooded campaigners for their respective causes. Just boiling over a little there.
James Harper's trying to calm everybody down. I mean, Stephen Hunt is the kind of player who treads that fine line, doesn't he? Very strong in the tackle. He certainly let Aaron Gunnarsson know he was about there.
All smiles now, but I don't think it's going to save them from a booking apiece. One for Stephen Hunt and one for Aaron Gunnarsson.
Gunnarsson clearly not happy with the tackle. Does he react to warrant his yellow card? That's the tackle. Gets up, shows a little bit of aggression and barges into Stephen Hunt. And that's the reason the young man's ended up with a yellow card. Stephen Hunt's brother straight in there as well, sticking together.
Doyle. Eastwood. He showed too much, but they've still got it here, Coventry. Through Jay Tad.
Well, he must feel a little bit hard done to on behalf of his team. So unlucky with that first goal. He had done everything right, everything that he would have wanted them to. Bad stroke of luck. Can't say the second Reading goal was lucky. Absolutely first class.
Dewberry slicing.
Going over to take this huge long throw, and rightly so, a minute before half-time. Trying to get the ball in the box, send the big centre-halves up and see what happens.
Well, it's a chance to change the complexion once more, and Coventry bite back. And met by Noel Hunt and cleared by James Harper. Elliot Ward has stayed back. Marcus Hall. Bouzoulan. Spun out towards Clinton Morrison. No one coming to help him out. Scott Dan. Bouzoulan. Eastwood comes short. Bouzoulan to Tab. Now Gunnarsson. Decent build-up this by Coventry. There's the deflection. No chance taken at all. Put behind by Khalifa Cisse.
Well, they want to get a move on Coventry. A couple of minutes. Make sure they get this into a decent area. They have caused Reading one or two problems when the ball's gone in the penalty area.
Dan and Ward, the big centre-halves, both making the run towards the near post. It's through all the way to Bouzoulan. He just puts it back in there and into the roof of the net in the end. It looked like there was just a little bit too much on that ball in from Bouzoulan. Made the angle a little tricky.
Yeah, and Elliot Ward couldn't just quite stretch enough. I just thought Bouzoulan may have had a little strike there. You know, all them bodies in there. And perhaps Elliot Ward can do a little better. He's up, he's got the height. Just doesn't make the contact, and Clinton Morrison, you can see his reaction because he is free for a tap in there.
Maybe he was going for goal there from a difficult looking angle. Here's Noel Hunt. Mikibi. Rosinha. Rosinha. Kibe. Should have time to take this corner.
Stephen Hunt's nearly over there already, look. Keen to get this ball in, get it in quickly.
Dubry saunters forward without a goal for 3 years. One of the Reading options in the box. Noel Hunt as well. Dubry! Well, he met it, but he couldn't find a way past Eastwood.
Well, I tell you what, if he hasn't scored for 3 years, he should be changing that here. Gets there ahead of the defender. Doesn't get a full contact, heading the ball down. Westwood happy to see that straight at him.
A little bit of an injury concern at the back. Looks like Elliot Ward. Well, it was all going so well for Coventry, wasn't it? The game plan was working, the slightly original formation, slightly different formation that was paying dividends. And then, in quick succession, the space of 5 minutes, Reading turned it around. Scott Dann, in fact, the man, the Coventry captain, who's requiring treatment here.
Looks like he's damaged his shoulder a little bit, doesn't it? I think as soon as he gets up and the ball's back in play, we'll have half-time whistle. But as Dubry flies in across Dan here, there's a coming together there, and it's Dubry's left arm just catches him in the shoulder.
You look down at that Dubry chance as a good one. One by Stephen Hunt as well, a good one. It could be a lot worse for Coventry City. They're down, they've had their lead overturned, but they are still in this match. But they trail, though, to Khalifa Cisse's first goal here at the Medeski Stadium. A really well taken one it was. Reading 2, Coventry City 1 at half-time.
And sticky start, but Reading have got the lead they wanted, and Graham Murty, the Reading club captain, has kicked every ball, and myself and Dion once or twice as well in that first 45 minutes. You'll hear from them both in a couple of moments. Bit of cunning from Fox got Coventry in front. Reading got back in the hunt, and Cisse gives them the advantage. Wolves and Birmingham watching on, as at half-time, not what they wanted. Reading lead by 2-1.
Monday night live.
Carling Cup quarter-finals on Sky Sports this week. Tomorrow night, Burnley take on Arsenal, 7:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And then it's Brendan Rodgers' Watford early test for him against Tottenham. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And here in the Coca-Cola Championship, Reading have the lead, but they came from behind to get the advantage 2-1 against Coventry at half-time. Watched here by Dion Dublin and the Reading club captain, Graham Murty. Graham, it was edgy to start with.
It was a little bit. You kept on banging on about the 20 minutes if we don't score. But we responded really well. That's what the guys in Coventry said. We had to respond. I think we stepped it up, not 1 but 2 gears.
We saw Coventry made a bright start, Dion.
They did, yeah. And I said while the game was going, patience. They were just passing and waiting for the opportunity to get it up to Clinton Morrison, get themselves a free kick, a needless free kick really to give away. But it's a fantastic goal. The thing about it, I just think Harper, 15 there, turns his back, should really stand in front of their man, and then the goalkeeper, Marcus, doesn't have to stand so far to his right. I think it's a big gap. I'm no goalkeeper, but it's a big gap to Marcus's left for a small ball to go into, and he's found a great corner.
Will he be disappointed with that?
I think he will be disappointed because he's a miserable guy when anyone scores against him anyway, but I just think it's a wonderful free kick. Let's just acknowledge the skill, the talent to put the ball in that top corner. I couldn't do it. Big man probably could have done it in his heyday, but it's a wonderful free kick.
It was too far out for me.
Hanneman involved in the equaliser, though. It comes from his hands, 15 seconds from one end to the other. This is something that Reading have been working on this year.
Not this year, generally since the manager's come to the club. He wants good responses to to poor situations, you know. We've given the ball away, free kick, ball into Marcus, and now we've had a positive reaction. We've gone up the other end, and this is what we've been about all season. Good delivery into the box, and Big Dion was saying it's the first time a centre-forward's got to cross his man. We've got a little bit of luck, but the quality of Liam Rossini's delivery into the area has deserved a goal, I feel. I don't know if Big
I
You'd like
agree.
to play on this team, Dion, wouldn't you? Cross after cross.
Tonight, Dave, it's been absolutely superb. And what it is there's been a lot of crosses, but it's not just the amount of crosses, it's just the quality of the cross. They've all been in what Graham was telling, in that sort of second 6-yard box.
And all coming down this right-hand side, Coventry's left. Would that be a worry for Chris Coleman?
I think he'll have to address it because, okay, it's fantastic. It's a great run, first and foremost. There's 4 Coventry players there and only 2 Reading players. The willing players were the 2 Reading players. And one thing that Graham and I spotted was Cisse came from the middle of the pitch and he was marked at the time, or should have been marked by Jay Tapp, and he's ran off Jay Tapp. And he's got himself an easy goal, really.
But then, as I said, it's a mentality thing. Coventry have had a free kick, they've put it in the area, so they're in an offensive mentality. We change quickly to our offensive mentality, and then midfield players have to change over. That's my discipline, that's what I have to do. I have to see him out, finish off my defensive responsibilities, and he just didn't make that change quick enough.
And what's Steve's approach now at half-time, with Reading in front?
I'll keep getting Jimmy Kebby, Liam Rossini, Stephen Hunt, Chris Armstrong the ball, down the sides, because we've had opportunity, and Dean would say far too many opportunities to deliver quality in the box, and the boys have been delivering. They've been putting good balls in there, players attacking the crosses. I think there's more goals. I would like to see more goals from them areas, and I think the quality of the crosses certainly deserves more.
And maybe in this formation, it's a case of Christmas coming early for Reading at the moment. Certainly their strikers are lapping it up at the moment. Any more gifts for them in the second half will be gratefully received. That's enough puns for me for now. So we'll take a short break and come back with the second half live.
Monday night live.
Weekend looks like this on Sky Sports, kicking off in the Premier League. Fulham Manchester City, 12:30 Saturday, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Saturday night football from Loftus Road, QPR against the runway leaders, Wolves, 5:15, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. East Anglia derby on Sunday lunchtime at 1 o'clock, Norwich Ipswich, and then Everton Aston Villa on the same channels from 3:30 from the Premier League. It wasn't going badly enough for Coventry trailing. They've lost their captain Scott Dan here, with dislocated shoulder. Their leader in the heart of their defence, and this young man, Ben Turner, 20 years old, number 20, has come into his place. Let's find out how that's going to work out with Don and Bill.
Well, they must feel, Coventry City, that the luck is definitely against them tonight. That deflection for the first goal, which proved so pivotal in really being the catalyst for Reading's recovery in that first half to turn around the deficit after that great free kick by Danny Fox. Now, on top of the injuries they came into this game with to defenders, Isaac Osborne and Stephen Wright, who were both injured in the last game, they now lose arguably their most influential man at the back, their captain Scott Dan. Well, in adversity and all that, Coventry City with it all to do here.
It's going to be a real test of their resolve, isn't it, this second half? Reading, their noses in front, full of confidence again, after what seemed like a lack of confidence in the first 20-25 minutes.
And at the back of Coventry minds, we've talked already about their comparative struggle for goals against most of the other sides in this division, particularly against the big guns, the likes of Reading and Wolves. They haven't scored more than one in a game, more than once since August. The last time they did was that 4-1 win at home against Southampton. That's just once in 17 games, hardly inspires confidence.
I think from a Coventry perspective, remarkably, they had more possession in the first half than Reading, so Chris Coleman is going to be really pleased with that. But you cast your mind back, and apart from the actual free kick, which was a wonderful, wonderful goal, I think Marcus Hanneman has really been tested.
Therein lies the problem of Coventry's recent form. 4 of their last 5, as we said earlier, coming from Clinton Morrison. Here's Rosina getting into a good position again. Noel Hunt, it bounced off him more than anything else, and that is an escape early on in this second half for Coventry. For how long, though? Here's Cisse, the man whose goal separates the sides. Rosina, still the danger, comes down this side, predominantly for Reading. Rosina turning on the tricks. Kebe. Doyle managed to keep the Championship's top scorer relatively quiet, Coventry, but the threat coming from all areas for Reading. Hunt this time. Here is Doyle onto his right, and that's perhaps not where he would want it.
We were saying, weren't we, at half-time, what were the odds in Coventry getting through 45 minutes without Kevin Doyle having a shot at goal? That's his first in anger. And as you said, Reading have got lots of danger coming from lots of other areas.
Look at the names on the Coventry team sheet. You'd expect them to score more goals from other areas than their main man, Clinton Morrison. Maybe it'll happen. Doesn't look like happening so far tonight. Paul Fox, man who has breached the Reading defence. And Turner, a product of the Coventry youth system. His first taste of league football since all the way back in January. Gunnarsson. That's away by Ingemarson. Now Fox. I suppose Don Coventry need to focus on what they did in the first 20 minutes. Because they had Reading looking a little rattled.
They kept the ball away from Reading in the first 20 minutes. It was excellent.
This is a good burst by Tab. Support from Doyle. What a good challenge that was. The senior had come across on the cover.
Well, he's displayed all his attacking abilities, hasn't he, Liam Rosina? This time, defensive now, comes in, gets the block in. It's one of Coventry's best breaks. A little bit more pace to that break, wasn't there?
It's Danny Fox's corner. It's one that causes quite some mischief in that. Jimmy Kibe. Stephen Hunt. Tab trying to stick with him. Hall. Bouzoulan. Tab. Cisse. Tab was caught a little late as he went to spin away.
Well, Stephen Hunt's looking at J-Tab accusingly. I think he thinks J-Tab makes the most of this. He's already on a card, of course, Stephen Hunt, so he can't afford, as he lays that off. Well, there's no contact, and J-Tab does make the most of it. Sees Stephen Hunt coming, gets the free kick, but you look at the referee and you think Stephen Hunt has probably only got one more tackle in him. If he gets it wrong, he'll be away.
The cost of the bust-up he had with that man towards the end of the first half. It was Hunt's challenge, and then the reaction from Gunnarsson, which earned them a card apiece. The only cards we've seen from Kevin Wright so far. And this is where Coventry will want to be, asking questions of the Reading defence. Launched in again, touched on by Elliot Ward. The referee spotting something he didn't like.
Chris Coleman wants to know what was wrong with that. Not sure he could see anything.
Doyle's touch, Hunt at pace. Hall comes across.
To use all his experience there, Marcus Hall, left-sided centre-half. Great little flick on from Kevin Doyle, which Hunt had read.
Change from Reading to try and unlock the door again. Into Morrison. This is J-Tab.
Eastwood. He had no chance. Surrounded by 4 Reading players. It's okay getting the ball into him up there, but he gets support. Probably feel this is Coventry's best hope, don't you? You know, you get the feeling Fox can put some real quality into that penalty area. Coventry still capable of getting back in this game. They've got 2 or 3 really big lads, decent in the air, powerful. It's all about the delivery.
Ben Turner, the young half-time substitute, is sat there along with Elliot Ward. Plenty of action on the ball. Clinton Morrison should be Hanneman's.
There was a lot of action on that ball, a lot of pace, a lot of whip. Just needs a faint little touch. A bit too much of a touch.
Stephen Hunt to his brother Noel. Doyle wanted it cut back earlier. Stephen Hunt over the head of Doyle. 2 defenders going for the same ball. Nearly fell for Cisse. Doyle ensured that didn't happen. Now Rosinha. Rosinha running in behind. He's got the pace to get there ahead of Hall, almost.
Just get the feeling this is a really important 10 minutes here for Coventry City. Reading are flying at them now.
Rosinha, you heard the call early there from Kieran Westwood. Tap. It's not just at the back that Coventry have got these injury problems, though, without Leon McKenzie, one of their striking options, on his way back, but still short of a first-team return. Fox. To flick it with the outside of that left boot. Helped on by Guillaume Bouzalan. Ward. Turner intercepted by Stephen Hunt. Doyle got in there ahead of Marcus Hall. All to no avail. It's gone out for a Coventry City throw. Morrison. Tab. Morrison peels away, hoping that Coventry can get the delivery right. Tab. And Eastwood met it.
Clinton Morrison for a second. Must think he's in here. Good ball to the far post, and Eastwood does well to knock it down, and Morrison so close to getting on the end of that.
To be a foul challenge there by Chris Armstrong. He can't quite believe it. Nor can a few other thousand here at the Medeski.
To say my first reaction was that of surprise that the referee blew his whistle there, but
you said, Don, how it was a crucial period of the game for Coventry, and Chris Coleman, Steve Keane there, his assistant, clearly feeling like it's time to try and force the issue a little. Michael Mifsud clearly visible there. Leon Best not quite so, but looks like he's getting ready as well. Maybe a double change here for Coventry.
they've been neat and they've been tidy, and they've passed the ball at the back and from the back and into the midfield areas, but there has been, with respect, a little bit of a lack of goal-scoring opportunities created, a little bit of a lack of cutting edge in that final third. 4 attempts from Coventry City. Managed a couple on target. One of those, obviously, that stunning free kick.
frustrating odd shift out there, can't there, Don?
Well, it can be. I mean, he's been really, really unselfish tonight. Clinton Morrison is closed down. Reading defenders, he's covered a lot of ground in his pink boots. He's had scant reward just to get those pink boots aiming goalwards.
Rosinia. Rosinia. Leading, the closing down from the front, Noel Hunt.
Coleman just having a little chat with his captain, Clinton Morrison, at the touchline there. Sending on some instructions, perhaps saying, when we bring Leon Best on, this is what we want.
Tab. Morrison. There's space down the right for Coventry if they can use it. Hunt. Just covers so much ground.
It wasn't the best ball in the world from Elliott Ward. Needed to be in front of Gunnarsson to give Stephen Hunt more of a problem. He's another unselfish player, isn't he? Covers an awful lot of ground, both defending and attacking.
Leon Best poised for a 50th league appearance for Coventry City.
Coventry City substitution number 12, has been replaced with number 9, Leon Best.
He's holding his thigh, isn't he? And Gunnarsson. That's the long throw out of the equation for Coventry.
Leon Best, another who hasn't found his best form yet this season for one reason or another. Just the one goal so far from 15 appearances. Not a ratio he'd be particularly happy with.
It's been a very stop-start season for him, hasn't it? On his day, he can be a real handful, Leon Best, and that's what Chris Coleman will be hoping for here now tonight. Going to see Freddie Eastwood just drop that a little bit deeper. Perhaps play in behind Morrison and Best up front for Coventry.
The introduction of Best should certainly give Reading a little more to think about. Dubry contained in that time. Jimmy Kebe.
The only thing from Coventry's perspective is it's a little bit of a gamble because Freddie Eastwood isn't going to be really chasing back. I just wonder if Reading get the other side of him in that midfield. They could exploit that.
Gave it the best part of 15 minutes, Aaron Gunnarsson, but picked up a dead leg, we gather, in the first half. Tried to run it off, wasn't happening. So another injury-enforced change there for Coventry. Lost their captain, Scott Dan, at the interval. Dislocated shoulder run on the stroke of half-time.
Test of the squad now, isn't it, for Coventry City? Not the biggest squad in the world.
Elliott Ward.
You can see here in the second half, Coventry carrying on. They've got more of the ball than Reading, but just can't at the moment see where that goal is going to come from with all that possession.
Making life a little more awkward for Michael Dubry. Here's Noel Hunt, Doyle, Jimmy Kebe. Time to pick out his cross. Away by Turner. Rosinia. Fox. So a straight chase here between Armstrong and Morrison. Armstrong does just what's required of him.
It's good defending just for a split second there. You fancied Clinton Morrison to get on the end of that. Armstrong having none of it.
Stephen Hunt will get on the end of this one for Reading. Looks for Doyle, looks for his brother and finds him. It's Noel Hunt again, and Reading extend their lead. Surely now that will be enough to put the Coventry threat to bed.
Well, Noel Hunt gets his second one, and again, right place at the right time. Congratulations, brother, says Stephen. He's made this one for him. Again, it's good running from that midfield in behind Coventry City, and then he uses his pace. That's a good touch, gets his body across. He's looking for his brother, but again, Marcus Hall, a little bit unfortunate. Gets the ball stuck in between his legs, and Noel Hunt on hand for what's going to be the easiest goal he's ever going to score. Marcus Hall had a problem there, facing his own goal, in the middle of his own goal. Couldn't get a swing at it, in danger of scoring an own goal. Once again, Noel Hunt doesn't care.
Well, the best part of a month since he last scored against Derby.
Coleman's team, just seen, had more of the ball than Reading. Noel Hunt, two very, very decisive contributions. You said earlier about the fact that Coventry had only scored more than one goal once in 17 games. The fact that they need now to get anything out of this game to score another two, to make that three, is a very, very tall order. No such problem scoring for Reading.
It's always going to be an important night for them. Talked about response and a rare home defeat. Might not have been convincing all of the time, but it looks pretty convincing in that top left-hand corner now.
The thing is, even when they're not playing well, they pose a threat, a real goals threat, Reading, particularly here at the Madejski. 28 goals now at home here in 10 games.
Well, Hunt, excellent ball into the path of Liam Rosenior. They really look in the mood now, Reading. Jimmy Keeby, the cutback.
Danny Fox got a really important touch on that cutback, otherwise it could have been four.
Well, popping up all over the field now. Harper just too close to Westwood.
That's the gamble that Coventry have taken. They're really committing bodies forward. As I say, they've got three strikers up there, although Freddie Eastwood playing slightly deeper. There's a long way to go in this game.
Best. Roussillon. Eastwood. Fox. Ward taking a more attacking mindset, but doesn't pay off again for the visitors. Pressure from Doyle. Coped well enough that time, Turner. Eastwood. Best. Bouzana, Coventry looking to him to pull the strings. Doyle.
No target being offered up for Turner there up front by Coventry.
And Doyle can streak away, he's got three behind him. Turner thought about pulling back at him. Doyle lost possession. In the end, three for Company, just proved to be too much for Doyle. Tab now for Coventry. Stephen Hunt, intervention didn't exactly what it was supposed to, but the seniors does. And immediately they get hold of it, they think about coming forward again, the home side. Noel Hunt screaming for it down this right, but Jimmy Kibbe in the mood to go himself. Still, Noel Hunt in a lot of space. Can his brother pick him out again? It's exactly what he tries to do, and Danny Fox ushers it back to his goalkeeper.
Well, we've got a really stretched game at the moment. And I think personally that's going to suit Reading much more than it's going to suit Coventry City.
Reading seem content to leave him on the ball for now. Eastwood, West on his heels as the ball was rolled past him. Still just about a quarter of the match remaining. Seems a long time ago now for the supporters of the Sky Blues that they took the lead through that Danny Fox free kick. Reading hit back at them. Deflected header from Noel Hunt. Wonderfully worked goal from Cisse. She dispatched with real clinical style. Just struggled to see a way back for Coventry after Noel Hunt's second of the evening in this second half. But you never know, stranger things have happened. Armstrong. Adventurous run from Armstrong.
They're playing with a bit of a swagger now, aren't they, Reading?
Doyle, he won't want to miss out on the act, that's for sure. Time to mark your card over live Championship football next weekend. Queen's Park Rangers against the Championship leaders Wolves. That's 5:15 Saturday. Sky Sports 1 and HD1 for that one. And the same channel on Sunday for the East Anglian derby, Norwich against Ipswich. Coverage of that one starts at 1 o'clock. Dubry. Leon Best. Eastwood. Fox. Jerusalem looking for J-Tab. High boot from Stephen Hunt. The assistant flags, but the referee waves play on.
Well, I think he did so because Coventry were in possession, to be fair to the referee.
And they make the possession count. Something that, as we've seen already, they haven't been able to do. They've been in the ascendancy in that particular department of the game. Unfortunately, where it really counts, it's been Reading's night. Kevin leaves it behind. Good ball required, not forthcoming from Danny Fox.
He holds his head because he's capable of playing that ball. Just didn't get any bend on the ball. Wanted to whip it in behind. Leon Best, acres of space.
Doyle. Stephen Hunt. Another bustling run from Stephen Hunt. Looks to have touched that one though.
Was he admiring her hair? Saying he wished he had hers? She's putting it back in place.
Yeah. She's had it done today.
He hasn't had his done, has he?
Stephen Hunt. There's Doyle. Challenge from behind by Ward. Free kick. And that's all.
It's good to see Kevin Doyle not make anything of that, not roll around in agony. Elliot Ward came through the back of him, got the ball, but too many players in modern football Would have been rolling around trying to get him booked, Elliot Ward, not Kevin Doyle. Well done.
And a change for Reading. Noel Hunt can milk the applause of the Medeski. 2 goals added to his season's tally. Didn't spend a lot of money in the summer, but the £600,000 they paid Dundee United for Noel Hunt looking like a shrewd investment from the chairman's purse. Another of the Irish contingent comes on to replace him, Shane Long.
Coventry are going to make anything happen in this match. It's going to have to happen soon. It's been a long time since we saw them get a shot away in anger at that Reading goal.
They can't afford to give it away in areas like this. Cisse, Rosinha, Eastwood. Rescuing what was potentially a tricky situation. It's got to be a concern to Chris Coleman, hasn't it, this lack of goal scoring that they've had recently. Of course, Clinton Morrison has been scoring, but you look at the other names, Leon Best, Freddie Eastwood, all with proven track records of scoring goals at this level. Michael Mifsud as well. 17 goals last season, he's only got 1 so far this year, and he's about to come on now. Whether he was unsettled over stories of him moving in the summer, whatever reason, they haven't seen the best of him in goal-scoring form this year.
It's been a real problem, hasn't it, for Chris Coleman? The goal scorers lack of. It isn't gone unnoticed on me that a couple of the teams really struggling at the bottom of the league. Yeah. Your Nottingham Forest, your Doncaster Rovers, they're the ones that have struggled the most to get the ball in the back of the net. And it goes without saying, there's not many teams have success when you can't score your fair share of goals at this level.
Shane Long puts his arms up to admit his guilt. A couple of changes in the offing there. Gunnarsson, you can see in the background there, from Reading, going to come on, as well as Mifsud. He's been waiting for a couple of minutes now. Doyle. Rosalas snapping at his heels. Came in Doyle, this is where he wants it on his left foot, came off the heels of Harper.
We've seen Kevin Doyle all night try with his back to goal, just try and manipulate that ball onto that left foot that he's got. Scores goals from all over the place, hasn't been able to do it to good effect so far tonight, but he's put in a really unselfish, hard-working performance for his team.
Ward was wayward, and Armstrong able to get through. And tracking back by Tab. And now here come the changes. It's Freddie Eastwood who's going to come off. So his run without a goal stretches from 11 to 12. Reading withdraw their 1 goal scorer who remains on the field from tonight, Khalifa Cisse.
Attendance 16,803. Thanks for your support.
soot bouncing around that Reading defence, but he's left in the wake of Jimmy Kebe. Gunnarsson. Reading closing in on what they wanted here. 3 goals which look like they're going to be enough to lead to the 3 points. And that in turn reduces the deficit on the top 2.
That was
important. 4 points.
I was going to say that was so important tonight for Reading. 4 of the next 6 games, including tonight's game actually. 4 of 6 games at home here at Madejski Stadium, where they are picking up points for fun.
Ideally like to be in a position where they are within touching distance of Birmingham when they go there to St Andrews later on this month. That's certainly the standout fixture of the 7 games that they play in the month of December. One of the championship matches that we'll have live for you on Sky Sports as well. Always a big month, isn't it? December with the busy Christmas schedule. 21 championship points up for grabs in the 31 days. Elliott Ward for Coventry. Well, they could do with a goal to just make life a little more interesting. Since the Reading equaliser, the Noel Hunt deflected header, they haven't really been able to ask any questions of the Reading defence. Maybe that'll change now. Clinton Morrison. They have a corner.
I said, must have been 15-20 minutes ago, you felt that Coventry's best avenue of getting a goal back may be from a set piece. Certainly had plenty of opportunities, haven't they? 4 corners to Reading's 2. And Reading, on occasion, haven't dealt really decisively with these corners.
Ward across there. He made the movement, but the ball unfortunately didn't go in the same area that he did.
Chris Coleman will point to 2 or 3 of those that have ricocheted off people and dropped to a Reading player rather than a Coventry one.
Leon Best. Having won the first header, they might have hoped for something more there as well. Doyle, the senior behind him. He's enjoyed himself tonight, hasn't he, Liam Rosenior, down this right for Reading?
Oh, I think he's been absolutely outstanding. Not had much defending to do. When it's been necessary, he's done it well, but going forward, he's been absolutely magical down this right-hand side with Jimmy Kebe. Caused Coventry all kinds of problems all night long.
Mifsud.
Almost get the feeling that Reading have settled for what they've got, don't you? It's gone a little bit quiet. The tempo seems to have gone from the game. Of course, it's up to Coventry to try and force the issue.
Well, they've got Coventry exactly where they want them, haven't they? Tab. Doyle. Gunnarsson. Harper. Very much back in the swing of things now, James Harper. After his little layoff through injury. Missed many games in the last few seasons. Jimmy Kebe. Now Harper. Hunt. Gunnarsson. Shane Long. Stinching their way forward here, Reading. Gunnarsson. Slip through towards Kibe. Real chance here, but Elliot Ward snuffs it out. Rosignol dances beyond Mifsud. And Stephen Hunt threw everything at that. And unfortunately for him, he had Ward in the way again.
I'd love to know how many crosses they've thrown into that penalty area from this right-hand side between them, Rosignol and Kibe. Bundles and bundles.
Offside there. So important from Reading's point of view of closing down those top two to start off the month well. You look at the other fixtures they have, those home games you were talking about, Don, against Blackpool, Norwich, Cardiff City. They go to Barnsley and Southampton. All games that they'd be looking to pick up maximum points from, and probably expect to pick up maximum points from. Judged offside. That must be a pretty tight one.
I agree. In real time, to me, that must have been very close as the ball bobbles around and breaks. Well, he's onside. He's onside by a good half a yard, if not more. He wags his finger to the assistant. Good job, they're winning 3-1.
Doyle still looking to attack Reading. Advantage played. Reading, and by the look of things, are going to give James Henry a little taste of the action. One of their academy products. Dubry. Turner. Stephen Hunt. Ingemarson. And from Iceland follows it up. Morrison. Mifsud. Buzelan. Ward. Best has made the little run to the right.
Well, that's what they've done all night long, Coventry. They've enjoyed really good possession. Got the ball into the front. It hasn't stuck. They haven't been able to create anything.
A fruitful night's work for Jimmy Kibe. Nice 5 minutes or so of first team action for James Henry. They haven't needed to use the fullness of their squad too much over the last month or so, Reading, but never know.
This is what he does very well, isn't it, Steve Coppell? He recognises quite clearly that the game has been over for quite some time, so he's taken off Noel Hunt. Jimmy Kibe just saved the legs a bit.
Hanneman. They'd just be happy to get a touch of the ball. It's been pretty quiet for him in the last 20 minutes.
Probably wouldn't have thought that when he was picking the ball out of the net after that fantastic Fox free kick. He's hardly been involved in the game at all since then.
That's a great piece of closing there by Shane Long, winning a throw-in the corner when could quite easily have allowed Coventry to play their way out. Long gets the cross away. Away by Bouzoulan. And too strong from Nifsud. Dubry. James Henry. Dug out by Turner. And Best certainly seemed to barge his man. Play will go on though. Henry. Doyle. Lost away from goal. Rosinha. James Henry with a chance to pick another cross. Personnel may change, but service is just the same from this right side. Crosses continue to come. This is Chris Armstrong. Stephen Hunt. Just too much on that one.
He's been busy, hasn't he? Tell him good night. Involved in the thick of the action, Stephen Hunt.
It's been impressive the way Reading have closed out this game and made sure that they haven't had any more scares than they suffered in the first half when they went behind.
Steve Coppell will be pleased with it in the end. He won't have been happy with the first 25 minutes or so. Saw his team go behind and saw Coventry dominate possession. Reading really spluttered and stumbled to try and get some things going. All that important first goal, a lot of luck involved in it. But from then on, Reading was sparked to life. And Coventry haven't had the answers.
Nifsud. Couldn't find a teammate. Finds Harper. Rosinha. Henry. Harper. Here's Henry. 90 minutes up now, 3 added minutes. Bouzoulan. Marcus Hall only in the vague direction of Clinton Morrison. Then it's all too comfortable for Reading to cope with. Doyle. Rosinha. Gunnarsson. Noel Hunt still getting up and down that left side for Reading, finding Armstrong. Best's intervention mean Coventry get the ball back behind Bouzoulan. Morrison pulled to eye. Nifsud and Best take up position in the middle. Bouzoulan bursts from midfield from Doyle, but again the final ball fails to really worry Reading. Bouzoulan. We're fast approaching the 3rd minute of added time to this second half. And as yet, Coventry haven't mustered an attempt on Marcus Hanneman's goal.
No, not a single shot in the second half. It's a real shame because much of what they've done has been decent.
It was the problem they came into the match with, not scoring enough goals, and it's the one that they'll leave the match with. No coincidence. As we touched on earlier, their last 2 wins have both come 1-0 away from home. Morrison half-hearted, and there is the attempted goal.
Ironic cheer, but you look at Coventry and you look at the last 3 goals, two Daniel Fox wonder goals from free kicks, and Clinton Morrison's winning goal at Hillsborough was an absolutely fantastic header. So they're not scoring. Every goal they score seems to be a spectacular one. They really are struggling to construct real open chances and get players in behind the opposition defence.
Score goals like Reading's equaliser, for example, in the first half.
Exactly right, and a third.
From Reading's perspective, it's a very good night's work. For the first time this season, they've gone behind and come back to win a match, and they've done it largely courtesy of the goals of Noel Hunt. A little bit of luck with the first one in the first half to cancel out Danny Fox's free kick, but after that Reading turned it on. Cisse's second, and the second in the second half for Noel Hunt ensures that Reading and Steve Coppell have the 3 points to keep them well in touch at the top. Reading 3, Coventry City 1.
And that is leftovers from an incident on the pitch. Shane Long felt he was caught by the arm of Fox. And maybe that won't be the last we hear about that little incident. An unsavoury end to what's been a pretty solid performance, hasn't it, second half. In truth, from what Bill was saying, they haven't been behind too many times this season, but once they did today, they reacted very well. And Noel Hunt's tidy finishing has left them well placed, still at the top of the Coca-Cola Championship. Wolves on 47, Birmingham on 41, then come Reading. And Graham Murty breathing a sigh of relief. That gap is down now to 4 points. Looks like this for Coventry, who've slipped to place because of that defeat, down to 17th. 7 clear of the bottom 3. The live football looks like this on Sky Sports this week. We focus on the Carling Cup quarter-finals over the next couple of days. Burnley-Arsenal, 7:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And Wednesday night, an earlier start for Watford-Tottenham. That's underway at 7 on Sky Sports 1 and HD1. This is how it looks for the weekend. Fulham-Manchester City in the Premier League at 12:30 on Saturday, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Saturday night football, QPR against the leaders Wolves, 5:15, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Our first look as well as Paulo Sousa at Loftus Road. And then Sunday for the East Anglia derby, Norwich, Ipswich, 1 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And Super Sunday from Goodison, Everton, Aston Villa, 3:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Former Coventry striker Dion Dublin and a delighted Reading Club captain Graham Murty are our guests. We'll hear from them when we come back. No favours tonight from Coventry for their West Midlands rivals. 2 for Hunt, and that goal for Cisse. A merry jig as well. We'll hear what that's all about. And Reading winning comfortably in the end by 3-1.
Monday night live.
And Reading have kept up their pursuit of the top 2 with a 3-1 victory over Coventry. Al Hunt's little jig getting them up and running. Second from Cisse. Hunt on the score sheet again, but Leroy Rossini is the man of the match. Let's hear from him and Noel Hunt, both with Greg Whelan.
Noel, many congratulations on the 3 points. How crucial are they at this stage?
Yeah, it was a big ask for us tonight. We had a bad result here last week and we wanted to make that right. So going a goal down, we showed real character to come back, and it was a good 3 points for us.
Touch of good fortune about your first goal, but as a striker, is it just a case of being in the right place at the right time?
Yeah, we've been told the areas to hit, and with the delivery from the likes of Rosie and Jimmy and Stephen, it's great for us, the strikers, to have these kind of players in our team. And, a little bit fortunate, I think it was going to go in anyway, but, the little touch helped it over the keeper, thank God.
Liam Rosini, your colleague, had a hand in 2 goals tonight. What credit does he deserve?
Yeah, he's been brilliant all season, I think he's the best fullback in the league. You know, he's up and down, and he's a great defender. So it's massive for us to have him in the club. You know, and as tonight proved, it, 2 great balls, and you know, thankfully we got 2 goals out of it.
Well, let's grab a quick word with Liam. You went behind early on. Coventry were the better side early on. Were you always confident that you could hit back?
Yeah, definitely. You know, Coventry deserve credit for the first half. My old manager, Chris Coleman, he always likes us to get the ball down and pass it, and it was the same with Coventry today. But we kept our shape. I think last week we were a bit ragged, but we kept our 2 banks of 4 and we were solid. And with the quality we've got going forward, we're always going to score goals here.
How much pressure did you feel under tonight as players to get the 3 points, to close the gap on the top 2?
There's always pressure, you know. We're good players, we're a good club, and I think a lot of us want to be in the Premier League and expect to be in the Premier League as players, and the only way we can prove that is to go out and perform. There's no more pressure playing in any game for me. You just got to go out, give your best, and hopefully get the 3 points.
William, congratulations on the 3 points. You're also the Powerade man of the match. Noel, if you do the honours for us, please.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Good goals, good goals.
Well done, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Liam, not Leroy Rossini. It's a generational thing, boys. That's what it is. But I tell you what, Dion, he's the best right back in the league, isn't he?
Yes, I see like second best. He done superb. He done superb, young lad. Really did well.
Well, you said yourself, to be fair, that you thought he should be the man of the match.
Definitely. I thought he caused him a problem all day. His defensive work was solid. Getting forward, he was brilliant. The deliveries into the box were first class, and it's going to take a lot to dislodge him, I think.
Well, it is, isn't it? Because ownership's possession here at Reading, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And so it should be. It's down to the players who aren't in the squad to prove they have something to offer. Now, if Liam keeps on doing that every week, I won't be one complaining. I'll just have to get my head down and bow to the fact that he's playing extremely well.
Well, let's have a look at the goals, Dion, and some gaps opened up in the Coventry defence, which Reading exploited.
Yeah, they did, and it was mainly down Coventry's left, Reading's right. A lot of patience in their play early on. What it is, all game, Reading put 10, 15 crosses in. But they weren't just crosses, they were quality crosses.
Is that his goal?
Yes, it is his goal. As a centre forward. Yes,
are you sure about that as well, Graham? Because
I'd love to see the person who tries to take it off him. It'd have to be a big, strong fella to take it off him at a minute.
Yeah, he deserves that. He deserves that. He put himself into a position where the goals go.
Great run. Get across the front of the defender.
So Reading got themselves back in it, and then 2-1 up before half-time as well. Was this the best move of the game?
I think so. It certainly deserved a goal. It's great pace from Jimmy initially, but the key thing here for Cisse is he's composed. He hasn't had a slash at it. It's a great ball from Liam again. Good pull back into the areas we're told to hit. No slash. Smooth through the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Secret is he's watched the ball. All the way onto his foot. Watched it.
And this is the killer ball. James Harper, great ball over the top. And this is what Stephen Hunt gives you. That running energy, the pace and the power and the persistence of doing that. I mean, it's a good area to hit once again. It's a key thing. But when Stephen Hunt is in that kind of form, it gives you these kinds of things and they make things happen.
It was his first touch as well. His first touch put it across the defender. Defender can't touch him. Marcus Hall, unfortunate. But, you know, Hunt there to put it in again.
We saw that confrontation as well, Dion, at full time. Because of this incident, Shane Long and Danny Fox going head-to-head here after the final. So I understand it didn't finish there, in fact. But this is what happened. What do you make of it, Dion?
It's hard to see from the angle. The angles that we've seen are not brilliant, to be honest. You're not close enough. But there's contact there. What the contact is, I can't quite see. There's a little bit of contact there. It's nothing. Again, nothing at all. I'm a big rugby fan. And if a rugby player sees someone like that going down, they're going to laugh at him. So that's nothing at all. Get on with it.
He's a tough lad, isn't he, Shane Long?
Well, he used to do hurling and shinty and all kinds of things like that in Ireland. He's only lately come to football, so he'll be a little bit disappointed to go on his backside from that. But he was a little bit disgruntled. He thought that maybe there was a punch thrown, but looking at that, it looks as though it's a push. 4 inches down, he pushes him in the chest, and it's nothing really.
Steve Coppell with Greg Whelan.
Steve, you wanted a big improvement on your last home performance here against Southampton. What do you think of the one you got tonight?
It was hard earned. You know, we were playing against a team who were comfortable in possession, who adopted a shape against us, which was, you know, on occasion hard for us to deal with. But you know, our players worked hard. They went a goal down, a terrific free kick from the left back, and from there we came on a bit of a game. And you know, our players who can create started creating a little bit of fortune, I think, with the first goal. But once we were back in it, you know, I thought we were always good value.
It's the first time you've won this season after going behind. How much satisfaction can you take in that?
I don't know. I think they are significant during the course of the season. I think if you look at all the top sides, you know, they go a goal behind, and it doesn't really mean a great deal. They just keep on playing, and that's something we've got to learn and adopt in more games. You know, that's always a good thing for any player, to know that you can go a goal down and then come back.
That's double figures now for Noel Hunt. How important a part is he playing in your campaign?
Well, they all are. You know, they all depend on each other. You know, we can only be effective as a team, and the team's only as strong as its weakest link. And Noel's had a few little niggly injuries, and you know, like all strikers, he survives on goals, and those tonight will really boost him and get him ready for what is a very, very jammed and competitive December for all the teams in this division.
In the context of the race for promotion, sum up the significance of this result tonight.
We're not in a race for promotion just yet. You know, I always say it's just about accumulating points at this stage. Before the game, I said, you know, we weren't competing with anyone else. At this stage, you're competing with yourselves. You've got to turn out performances and hope that they're good enough to get you points. You know, what's happening around us doesn't affect us as far as I'm concerned. Not yet. You know, we've got to get, as I say, this busy month out the way, and then we'll start looking towards the table.
Steve, well done tonight.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Well, if Steve Coppell isn't looking, I would think that every Reading fan probably is, Graham. What about the players?
We have a sneaky look every now and again, but it's exactly the way he is with the players. Doesn't matter, performance, that game's done. He'll be certainly thinking about the next game now. That's finished and done, over with. Let's think about the next 3 points.
Let's hear from Chris Coleman with Greg Whelan.
Chris, not the result you wanted. What do you feel your overall performance deserved tonight?
I thought first half we were good, played some good stuff, caused problems for Reading, and we were 1-0 up, and then they get back into it with a big deflection, and there's nothing you can do about that. And the second goal we gave away was poor from us. We let a runner from midfield go into the box, and it was an easy finish for him, so we were disappointed to be 2-1 down half-time. We felt we deserved more from that, and then we gave a silly goal away, the third one. And I was disappointed with our reaction after that. We should have really gone back at Reading, and we didn't. We was almost feeling sorry for ourselves because our captain's had to come off half-time. We think he's popped his shoulder. Aaron Gunnarson's got a dead leg. He's had to come off. We've had to change the shape because we've lost all our full-backs on the right side. So, you know, coming to a place like this, we need to be out of full strength. Coming here, if you're not full strength, it's always going to be a tough game. But I thought for the first half we were good. Second half we went 3-1 down. After that, it was only one winner.
Chris, commiserations tonight.
Thank you.
But Dion, given the football, some of the football at least we saw from Coventry, would you have any worries about them?
No, the first half I thought they'd done well. They were more than a match for Reading. Like Chris said, very honest interview. Second half I thought Reading were just miles and streets ahead of Coventry, and they got their goals, well-deserved goals. And Coventry seemed to just deplete.
Dion, thank you very much. And Reading captain Graham Murty, hope you're back soon as well. This is what we've got to look forward to still on Sky Sports. Burnley Arsenal tomorrow night, and Watford Tottenham is Wednesday night, both in the Carling Cup quarter-finals. And Reading are still in the hunt for automatic promotion.
Take me for a ride in your vicious car and drive until our head spins. Stab me through the arms with your blissful knives and let me stay for 3 nights.